now starting the streaming. Hey everybody, Kathryn Perry here, the Big Vision Coach. Thank you so much for joining me here on my page, the Big Vision Coach. And I just want to point out real quickly that there are some other ways that we can stay in contact together. That right now you're seeing me on the Big Vision Coach page. You can also reach me on my Twitter page at Big Vision Press. And then I'm on LinkedIn, so it's just in Kathryn Perry. And then of course, the good old thebigvisioncoach.com. And today I want to talk to you about the Mercury retrograde that we're in right now. This actually started this past Sunday on the 9th, and it'll be going on to May 3rd. In fact, there's so much going on with this retrograde that I did a special teleconference about it, and I do have a replay link that's in the comment section below. And I want to be giving you some tips on how you can best use the energies of this retrograde so that you can really rock it. Okay, let's get started. So, as you know, a lot of times when we think about the retrograde, and if you don't know what a retrograde is, just real quickly, it is the time in astrological terms that it appears that the planet Mercury is going backwards in the sky, and Mercury generally controls communication. Look at that! Look what happened. I lost the word rules communication right there. But it's also electronics and then clarity of thought and action. So a lot of times when there are glitches going on during a Mercury retrograde, it's there's problems with computers malfunctioning. This is a time that there are a lot of electronic upsets. Power stations go down, whole lot of energy happening, but this is also a time that generally it's not a good time to sign new agreements, but it's a great time to review old agreements and get clarification on them. Okay, so if our communication is going backwards, how can we use this time to keep moving forward in our businesses? How can we use this time to keep growing our relationships and going deeper in our own personal growth? So there's different ways that we want to look at this. One, there are a lot of influences going on during this particular retrograde. We have got some really powerful things, and I've got them listed in the link below, but one of them is the planet Jupiter, which is about our expression of our values and supports our big mission, going out in this way in a really powerful, unflinching, courageous way that we go, hey, I'm here. And there's this extra force of energy that moves you forward, brings you good luck, and helps set the stage. And it kind of removes obstacles for you too. Well, the planet Jupiter right now is also retrograde. It appears to be going backwards, but what that means for you is that this gives you a time to look inside, unflinching, without judgment, and to really come to some honesty with yourself about your current situation, the past, and maybe even looking at your motives. Well, the reason I'm mentioning this now is that as we have this energy of honesty, that it's not judgmental, and it's about coming back into this time of our values, this is also a great time for us to be looking back on our past relationships. I mean, every time we look at ourselves, we wind up looking at our relationships, right? And every time we look at our relationships, our money, or anything else that's going on, we wind up looking at us. It's this big continuum that we're always examining. So right now, as we're in this time of this open, honest space with ourselves, this is the best time for us to be reaching back to our clients, to our relationships, and maybe dealing with our family members. But often during retrograde, this is a time that some unresolved issues, some people from your past may pop up, and there's this whole new level of conversation. A really good friend and client of mine called, and we actually chatted the day before the retrograde, and she said, Kathryn, you would not believe it, but my ex-husband that we had a daughter with, and we had lost a daughter together, called me, and it was the most honest conversation we ever got to have during that time. Here were these two devastated parents, and he couldn't be the support for me, and there was just all this going on, and so our marriage ended, and it ended badly. And he reached out to me, and it was a really lovely, healing conversation. And he'd been doing all this personal work, and then she didn't even realize how much resentment or pain was still held there. And him reaching out opened up a lot of love in her heart and brought in forgiveness and new understanding. And she realized too how it had actually been having an effect on her current relationship. And these are the kind of things that happen. Now, what if the relationships are the past? You don't feel like you could ever really have that conversation. Like, there's people that you just know that it's not going to change, right? I'm just going to go ahead. Let's bring that up right now. I know you're going to tell me, like, Kathryn, that person was horrible to me. I don't want to call them. There's no reason to get it resolved. Nothing's going to happen, and nothing good would happen from calling them. Or, hey, they're dead, right? Straight up, they're dead. What do you do? Well, there's nothing that stops you from having a conversation with them on what I call the inners. Because right now, there's this open-ended conversation that's kind of one-sided that's going on. And it's got you frozen because you're in this conversation with someone who is still responding from being the old way. And what I mean by that is you've got a picture, an image, an idea, a memory of this person, and it's kind of this fixed space in your mind as you think about them. They have the same expressions, they say the same words, they have the same physical components, but you're wanting to grow and move forward, right? Well, unless you release that person, that thought, that image, that idea of that situation from this frozen, hard, unmoving position, how can you ever move forward? It's impossible because you're keeping them cast in the role of an abuser or a denier. Well, what has to happen in order for them to hold that space? You have to be abused or denied. And everything you do winds up coming from this internal position. And you may try to move forward, but you're tethered energetically. So what can you do? I'm going to take you through some steps right now. So I know right now I've probably triggered you. You probably, oh, Kathryn, I'm on Facebook. I just wanted to have a nice light moment, see what you're doing. I wanted to have a happy thought. And I promise we've got a happy thought coming. Okay? But right now, I just want you to put your hand on your heart. And right now, just connect into the love in your heart. And take a deep breath. And as you're just coming into awareness of this love in your heart, let it become illuminated. And right now, as you're focusing on the love in your heart, I'm going to align with you. And just witness the love in your heart and you as a loving, powerful being. And right now there's this part of you that has been stuck and been fighting for a long time, that has not known how to move forward from a situation and really needs to be heard right now. And here's the thing, like, you think that because something happened to you, you can't trust other people, but really what happened is it caused you to trust yourself a little less. And you might actually have the unforgiveness for yourself, and the anger would be at yourself for allowing yourself to be in the situation. And that keeps you stuck. And there could be some shame and regret. So we know that that's there, and we may not know how to release it. But between shame, regret, this anger, the way you saw yourself in the past, and the way you see yourself now, let there only be love. And just let that light of love fill the space between the idea of how you know yourself now and the way you knew yourself then. And just notice what happens as you bring in love. Now here's the wonderful thing, that when we look at things through love and we start allowing this to become our lens, it opens up this new level of awareness. Like right now, we can't know all of the good that you were hoping to happen as a result of that relationship. You did have hopes, wishes, and desires. And there were some things that you might have been trying to work out with this person that you were trying to achieve. But now even moving it forward, what good has come of that experience? Are you stronger, wiser, kinder, more flexible, smarter? Are you more ethical? And we can't even know what good exists in the future because of that past experience. So right now, between knowing what happened, that you're holding this history, it's history if it's true, right? Or not. And all the good that could possibly come from this, even though you don't know what that is, let there only be love. And I just want to introduce one idea. Do you believe that you have the right to grow, and learn, and change? Become a better person? I have a feeling you do, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to these types of broadcasts or any other broadcasts that you listen to or the books you read or everything you're working for in your life. But what if it's just as true that that person that you've got this enmity with, that's maybe they're not even alive anymore, maybe it was a situation at work or in your family or a past relationship or some Joe on the street, something happened to you. What if they have that same right as you to grow and learn and change? And what if it's just as true that if we just allow them to grow and learn and change on their journey, that we just have that, hold that idea to be true for them too, even though we may not care, we may not have anything to do with it, but can it still be true? Well, then let's just let it be true. And right now, I just want to invite you that whatever idea you have of God or Creator, of the universe, of love, compassion, right now I just want to invite you to send that image of that person that hurt you or disappointed you or used you or maybe even abused you up to Creator. And we're going to let Creator do the work there. And in this place where there was bitterness or regret, unforgiveness, shame, whatever those negative emotions were, right now let there be light. And now let that light begin to expand through your body as it connects to your heart, aligns to your greater intelligence, your spiritual life force energy, which actually may look like a pole of light as you're connecting to Source. Feel this energy start to gather around you. And right now, just as I aligned to the love in your heart, maybe there's love in that person's heart. Maybe it's just a molecule. Maybe it's just a little flick of light. But whatever light is there, just let the light from your heart and their heart connect. And right now, I just want to invite you to say these words. I release you, I release you, I release you. And let there only be love between us. And right now, what would it be like if you heard those words? I release you. I release you. I release you. Let there only be love between us. Bring your attention back to your heart, to here and now. Do a little stretch, like, ooh, yeah, we went deep, right? That's how fast this work is. But now I want you to think about this situation with this person in the past. And what do you know about this situation that you didn't know before? Do me a favor, put some comments here. What are you noticing, like in the way you're feeling, or like do you feel lighter? Yeah. What do you know now that you didn't know before? And what good has come from this experience in your life that maybe you hadn't really acknowledged before? There we go. Just notice. And as you're coming into this awareness, we're just going to allow to unwind and unwind any of those old thoughts, images, or ideas about you being abused, about being hurt or broken or not heard, not respected, all of those things that you labeled yourself. As you rewind into that true identity of you being a master, of being a loving, wise being who has the power to grow and learn and change. Thank you. I witnessed that. I witnessed your mastery. I want to encourage you. I have got a teleconference that I just did, and I've got a special series coming up. If you'll check in the link below, it'll give you some more information about it. And I'm going to be tuning in every day at 11 o'clock during this Mercury retrograde to give you some little tips, tricks, do some sharing of some stories, and maybe some little exercises like this to help empower you so that when you are on the other side of this retrograde, that we're taking all of these forces and we're gathering them so that you can take off and launch into your good in a greater and more powerful way. So until next time, this is Kathryn Perry, the Big Vision Coach. And hey, be sure and like and share our page. And I witness your mastery. Bye-bye.